Hi, welcome to another review. Um, I got some bad news yesterday. My e-reader broke, and I don't know why. The light just kept blinking, but the screen didn't come on. So that's my Sony e-reader, and I was going mad. So I brought it into the shop anyway, and they have to send it away to be analysed or whatever. So I don't I don't have it for the next 2 weeks. So that was a pity. Um, but just, I suppose, at the right time, the lovely people at Mira Ink Publishing sent me this book to review. Um, The Goddess Test by Aimee, and it's the first book I was ever sent to review. But don't worry, I'm still going to be totally honest with what I thought about it. So The Goddess Test, it's the first book in a new series, and I think the series is going to be known as Goddess Test. And the next book, Goddess Interrupted, is going to be out. I can't remember, but the date will pop up somewhere around here. And yeah, so when I first got the book, I thought it would be a bit thicker because it's not that thick. It's only about 293 pages, so it's not very long, but it doesn't feel like it's too short either, so I suppose that's good. It's about a girl called Kate, and her mother's dying, and her mother wants her, to spend her last few days or weeks in the town she grew up in called Eden. So they go. Kate brings her mom there, and she goes to school there, and then suddenly she meets this guy called Henry, and he gives her the option of becoming his wife and living with him in the underworld for 6 months of the year for the rest of her life, and he let her mother live for a while. So she has that kind of dilemma: should I do this? And it's kind of based on the Greek mythology. So Hades, he's the god of the underworld, god of the dead in the mythology, and Henry is basically Hades. I thought that initial story and idea was really original, and I thought it was like, I know the whole Greek mythology, that part isn't original. What the author does with it is, yeah. So overall, I did enjoy this book. I thought it had good ideas and had just an overall interesting story, and I liked how it changed, throughout the book and developed, and it had a good ending. So I was really pleased. There were a few kind of imperfections in there. Like there were a couple of plot holes. I don't know even if we call them plot holes, but it like I I felt Kate, the main character, should kind of question things more. Like she just kind of accepted these things very easily a bit, and I wanted her to question it a bit more. And at the beginning, her relationships, they formed quite fast as well. I think the author should have taken a bit more time to develop them. Yeah, so there were just kind of like questions in my mind about certain things. But I mean, I'm sure by the next book, the author will kind of be even better at writing, and all those kind of things will be smoothed out. This one. Oh, my cough ever go away. I think the main kind of relationship in it, the author developed that well. Maybe not so much the other ones, but I think she developed that one really well. So that was good. And yeah, so I mean, it wasn't an out of this world book, but I do think it was good and interesting, and I will read the next one when it comes out. So yeah, it was just a nice, easy read. The writing was very simple, not too difficult. um, and it's a good tagline too: "Become immortal or die trying." Um, yeah, so I recommend it. I think you should check it out. It was good enough, and that's that. So Now I'm going to move on to a spoiler review, so if you don't want any spoilers or details, please switch off now. Okay, so, hmm, um, I didn't really understand her and Ava's relationship because Ava was just a really annoying character to me. And when she finally kind of disowned Ava in the book, I was like, yay, Ava will be gone for a while. And I couldn't understand how Kate would give up her entire life. Like, she was willing to stay in the underworld forever, not just for 6 months. She was willing to give up everything just for Ava, for this character who she met a couple of weeks before and who was really mean to her. I know she felt a little bit responsible for her dying, but I couldn't comprehend that she would actually give up her whole life just for this Ava. And I thought she would kind of be doing it for her mother, but no, she said she was doing it for Ava. I do think the Ava thing could have been cut out maybe and just focused on the mother. Like, she wanted to go there to save her mother, not go there to save Ava. And also I wanted Kate to question things more. Like, okay, the whole town of Eden was just made out as a test for her. Well, the whole thing with her mother at the end being Diane, I still don't understand. Like, did she have to have it? Does the Queen of the Underworld have to be born from a Greek god? Like, were the other contenders or girls, were they just normal? Were they born from a Greek god? I don't understand why she had to give birth to a human child. For her to be viable to do the test. I don't understand that. And Kate didn't question it. Like, was the only reason she was born so she could do this whole Queen of the Underworld test thing? Like, is that the only reason she was born? I don't know. And like, what? How was her mother dying if she was a Greek god? I did appreciate the fact that James buried her mom's grave in the end and explained that Diane took on a mortal form for those years, so it's almost as if like her mom and Diane the Greek god are two different people, which I kind of preferred thinking like that. And like, every single thing Ava did was that just fake. Like, she is Aphrodite, that Greek god, and yeah, everything, like, they were all just pretending. It was all just a test, and I can't imagine her being that, like, friendly with some mere mortal, you know. And yeah, so, like, I don't think every character should have turned out to be one of the council. Because it just kind of cancelled out everything they did, because it was just all part of the test. One thing, though, I had a problem with, I saved it to show you. Remember at the end of the chapter where Kate was listening up against the door and she heard Henry talking with someone, and I guessed it was going to be James from like the top of this page. See this page, just the end of the chapter. But for the people who didn't know it was going to be James, and you're meant to find out at the very last word, you would have been spoiled the minute you turned onto this page, because what's the name of the next chapter? James! Anyway, that's just something small. But the good points, I do think Henry and Kate's relationship was really sweet and it developed really nicely. And you really got to read about how Kate's affections grew. And it was really sad as well how she felt like, you know, he would never love her, he'd always be in love with Persephone, but he did end up falling for her in the end. I do like James, the little we kind of saw of him initially. I'm not sure if I want there to be a triangle. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. Yeah, so I'm not sure where I want their relationship to go. I do think the next book's going to be really interesting. I don't know if we're going to go straight back to the autumn where she starts her 6 months again, or we're going to see a bit of her in the summer. I say we'll see a bit of her at the end of the summer. I do think it was really exciting when she was being stabbed by Calliope. I can't pronounce her name. She put on a good act. I don't know if that was just wasn't written well or that she just put on a really good act. I'm surprised I didn't realise it was her for over 100 years. And yeah, so I think it got better as the book went on, and at the end of it, I just felt like, yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. So that's my review, and yeah, so I was pleased I got it in the mail, and let me know what you think if you check it out. And thank you very much for watching.